Hi friends, in this short video I'll talk about two main things. One is how I kind of expanded my career beyond just the sales and distribution module, and then how I was at the crossroads of my career back in the day and how I kind of mitigated that situation and chose the right path. My name is Kartik Dua. I'm a principal business analyst at Elucian and I'm a SAP Communities Champion. So let's start right away. But for a sales and distribution consultant, there are many kind of sidebar modules that we could venture into. The three things that I looked at or which I trusted and went ahead were SAP Concord, SAP Revenue Recognition and Reporting, and resource related billing. Now these three topics are really not because I chose them, I'm saying this, but these three topics were something that really helped me grow beyond just my typical sales and distribution expertise. We'll start with SAP Concur. So SAP Concur is SAP's travel and expense solution. Excellent solution. I've been supporting SAP Concur for about 4 or 5 years now. And believe me or not, complaints that I have heard could be like just 1% of the total number of requests that I've handled. It's well received by pretty much anyone and everyone I know. It's a very good solution, very seamless solution. At this point, we are using just the travel and expense part of it, but SAP Concur also has requests and invoices if you guys want to explore. I've written a blog article for SAP Communities, which has links on how you can start off your journey at SAP Concur. So feel free to visit that blog and let me know if I can help in any way. The next is SAP Revenue Recognition and Reporting. This is, I would say, something is my favorite from the three that I just mentioned. I was involved in the implementation of SAP RAR at Elucian, and then I've been supporting RAR since then. Back in the day, SAP's revenue recognition used to happen through the traditional RevRec, which is the VF44 transaction. And since the time, I think the GAAP rules, with the new GAAP rules and the IFRS 15 compliance standards, SAP has come up with this RAR solution, which I said, feel is a really great solution. Something like, an SD consultant should know, because if you get into the professional services industry like I did, I think this is something that you will really love because there's minimal customization. The out-of-the-box solution is excellent. And again, on my blog, which I've written for SAP Communities, I've given links as to how you can start your journey on SAP RAR. The last one is resource-related billing. This is again a thing that we use a lot in the professional services domain. Being an edtech company, Elucian also offers professional services to our customers, and that's where I got an opportunity to explore resource-related billing. At a high level, what resource-related billing is basically your services sales. You send consultants on projects, either off-site, on-site. They charge their expenses, they charge their hours, and how the entire the hierarchy of hours getting recorded along with the expenses in a typical SD document flow is what RRB is all about. Resource-related billing is all about. Again, a link in my blog, and feel free to read other articles outside from what I've written, but the ones that I have written are really good sources. I'm actually writing a book as well on integrations of sales and distribution in SAP S4. I have a couple of other excellent authors kind of tag teaming with, and that book should be out in December of 2022. So another resource you guys could look at, where we have actually given a good kind of thought and written down the book in a way that would help any person new to this whole concept of whether it's RRB, whether it is RAR, or whether it is SAP. Let's move on to the second half of the agenda that I had for recording this video, and that is about crossroads of your career. So I was at the crossroads of my career, I would say, back in 2014, when I was initially a consultant back then, and then I was wondering whether I really want to continue as a consultant or do something else. The family, the work-life balance was also something that was playing on my mind. So, and then in general, I felt that I needed to do a little more than what I was doing at that time. So I was confused. I didn't know what to do. gave it a lot of thought, and then eventually I reached out to a couple of people who I look up to, the family, friends, and that's where one of them told me about a business analyst, and that kind of stuck to me. Like, okay, why not? Like, business analyst, something that I feel is really close to my heart, I would say. And the responsibilities are not very different from a functional consultant, but BA has its own share of, tasks or responsibilities that we need to do. And like I said, something that comes naturally to me because of my nature, I would say. Like, I like talking to people, I like to explore new things, and then if I can proactively work with a business, with the business lead to improve their track, I think that's something that gives me a lot of content and excitement as well. So that's where I looked into this whole thing of business analyst. And once I knew I wanted to go that path, I started doing some training, like going through different sources, like in terms of blogs, free trainings, paid trainings. There's plenty out there which really helped me excel my skills as a business analyst. And on that journey of being starting off as a business analyst and being where I am today, there are a couple of things that helped me most. And one of them is celebrating success. And when I say celebrating success, I'm not saying just success of the projects, but in general, like the milestones that I have personally achieved in this journey, whether it was just getting a new job, completing like my first BA task, or helping others kind of build on those BA skills. And then the second part of celebration is you need to celebrate your colleagues or the people who have helped you on your journey. And when you do that, I think it's a positive environment that that you carry with you, which takes you, I would say, far ahead in your journey. Being really positive is, I think, the key for anything. And that's actually the second part that helped me a lot is being positive throughout this journey. There are times where you will get bogged down. Like at the very start, when I was at the Crossroads, I was really nervous, and it's obvious or it's natural to have the negative thoughts at that time. But I would strongly suggest that try to keep a positive mindset. Try to find the positives, in the situation rather than overwhelming yourself with negatives. So that's what I did. Surrounding yourself with positive people, positive energy, doing a little bit of meditation, I think all that helps. And once you have the positive mindset, I can almost guarantee that your journey would from there on would be very successful. In short, like, again, I've written a blog about this as well on SAP communities, and if you happen to read that blog, you'll say that I've come up with my own theory of ABCD for Crossroads. Like, if you're at the crossroads of your career and if you follow this ABCD, I'm sure you will come out of that crossroads a very happy, successful person. The A on that ABCD stands for always try to find a mentor. Like I started off maybe a couple of minutes ago, like I said, people who help me, people who look up to really help me in this journey. And don't be shy, don't be nervous to ask for help. People are there to guide you. You should have, and when I say mentor, it's not about any people, right? It's not about any person that you know of, but the mentor is the person who will selflessly guide you. So try to find that mentor. The B in my ABCD is be positive. I think I've talked enough of being positive, and it has helped me a lot. And I would strongly recommend for people out there, when they are at that crossroads, try to have a positive mindset, and you'll be a successful champion as well. The C is celebration. Celebrate. You have to be selfless to celebrate others, and you have to be modest to celebrate yourself. I have done that, and it has really helped me, come a long way in my journey, and I would strongly recommend that for you all as well. And the D is to develop your skills. You cannot stop learning. The day you feel that you have learned all, I would challenge you. Like, I know you should challenge yourself again. But there are many things out there which so if you know one skill, there's another skill to learn. And that other skill would kind of enhance your current skill, or take you further, or help you move laterally in your personal life as well, and not just career. So always work on developing skills. So that's all I had, as two stories of my experience that I wanted to share with y'all. One was how an SD consultant can go further in their career. And then secondly, if you're at the crossroads of your career, try out my ABCDs and let me know if they work. Thank you so much for spending these 10-11 minutes with me. If you have any questions, please send them to me. You can easily find me on LinkedIn, or my profile is also up on the SAP Community Champion page. Feel free to ping me from there. I'm always looking out for feedback, conversations, happy to help wherever I can, and most importantly, I am looking to learn. Please connect with me. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Bye.